Good day, good day. How you doing? As you can see, I'm doing a little better today. None of that oxygen stuff. Just chilling. It is a Sunday. Hadn't really made it out and about much today yet. But that's okay. It's kind of milky out there. Overcast, sort of misty, cold. I think it's only going to get better. Now, why is it only going to get better? Well, it's obviously not global warming or global cooling or climate change. Oh, don't don't fall for all those are lies. Don't fall for them. If you question that, just question it in the comments, and I'll get back to you for sure, for absolutely sure. Now, as my screen has just went wonky, there it's back. I hope you didn't miss any of that important stuff. Listen, the world's in a funny place. It's not funny. It's just repeating itself, but we're not paying attention. So let me take you back a ways. Let me take you back to a time when there were no computers. Things like machinery was not here yet. There weren't any cars. There weren't any planes. There were a few boats, but they had sailed. And yet people were writing stuff that sounded like this that we couldn't write today with AI. And you just look at that and you wonder, how was this written that long ago? I love the sound of an oboe with strings. It's just something that I truly love. An oboe and a cello answer each other so well, and as with almost any other instrument, but I guess I'm just somehow feel like I'm tied to it. I can give you many examples, but this is beautiful. This is Rimsky-Korsakov, by the way, with the middle of one of the movements of Scheherazade, the story of an Arabian princess. We're going to turn her off now. See what I say. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? I love it. It's so beautiful. And it goes on for a very long time. And there's so many things like that that I find of beauty and pleasure that I find missing today. But God help us. Maybe we'll be coming back to some of that when we get rid of all this DEI stuff and the weird things that the world has been arguing over. If you think about it, Trump getting in, Trump getting out, Trump getting back in again. Didn't that happen in England? Oh, so many years ago. Who was it? Cromwell. They took over. Actually had the king beheaded because the king had. Gosh, I wish I could remember straight up which one that was. He, the one that took over the parliament and then had the king beheaded. He was a Puritan. I don't even know if he eventually made it to the States. He had tried to get to the States, to the colonies many times, but it didn't work out. He ended up having the king beheaded, and his son, the king's son, that is, went off to France and lived there for a while because even though they always were fighting, that they were all related to each other on top. So he stayed over there for a pretty good bit while, England didn't have a king. They had reinstated the parliament, and they were running the show. But after, God, I want to say it's Cromwell, but I don't know. After he passed away and was no longer a force de force majeure, they brought the king back and the king's son now, and put him back on the throne and continued as if nothing had ever happened before. they had a shot at getting rid of the monarchy, but they didn't do it. And okay, what does that have to do with Trump getting in and getting out? Well, the son wasn't quite as radical as his dad, but needless to say, he had to go or die at that point. And when his dad was beheaded, dethroned, and Trump had to go away for a little while, but some say Trump won and it was stolen. But and then when you ask people like they did in the Senate for all those confirmation hearings, they wanted to know if they could get Trump's people to say that he lost that second election, because he's never admitted it himself, and I don't either. But they would say Joe Biden was in the White House. They wouldn't say Trump lost. They would say Joe Biden was in the White House. And I took umbrage to that, quite honestly. And so I gave it some thought, and I found, I found that was an excellent choice to say. Because if you say he won, that's his term, and there was not a revolt, that would show a sign of great weakness, or the appearance of great weakness. What I'm saying. There you go. And we wouldn't want to show great weakness. We just, you would never show that. You would never display. You would never allow it to be seen. On the other hand, if the force to keep Joe Biden seated was greater than that to allow Trump to rightfully win the election, then the answer is Joe Biden was sitting in the seat. And as long as he's sitting in the seat, you can't count that time as Trump. I thought for a good while they were going to, like 30 days before the election or after, even now, say, oh, yeah, you know what? You guys are right. He really did win the second time. So that was his second term. So he can't be in now. So we'll give it to Kamala. I mean, I would actually, don't spread that one around. I'm surprised they haven't used it already. But, well, hello. So that's my kitty cat making quite the show. Anyway, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it just surprises me that it didn't. But he's back now, and he's back. I'm thinking it's better that he was gone, because I don't know what would have happened in those 4 years. They would have been much different. But they're gone now, and he's back now. And if he had been in that whole time, he'd be gone now. And I don't know where we'd be by now. There's lots of possibilities. So the fact is, he's here. Well, a little something to do here. He's 45 and he's 47, right? If he had won, he would have, the second one, or if they'd given it to him, however it worked, if he'd served that one out, he would have been 45 only. Right? And 46 would be who's ever would be in now, which is, what if. But he was inaugurated the second time in the year 2025. Now, for those of you with a calculator, please take the number 2025, take the square root, and you will find it's 45. Now, I'm not going to place some kind of biblical prophecy on that. I'm just not. I'm not going to do that. But it's weird. And it's impossible to say it happened by chance, because even though it's the number is less than 145, the having any year that is a natural square root doesn't happen but very often. at this point, what, once in a lifetime, maybe, something like that. I know it's the next one. It's going to be 46 plus 47. It'll be 93 years from now, something like that. Do the math. It's close to that. I'm doing that with an old trick in my head. So, and then in each time it gets a little bit further out because 45 squared, 46 squared, 47 squared. So it's like every 90 years, but not 90. It's 92, then 94, then 98, whatever. Bigger number. Point is, doesn't happen. But you got one. You take the square root, and you got his number first time around. It's just weird. I like it. I do like it. I like throwing a curveball from time to time because, quite honestly, the best I can tell, what I just ciphered out is of no value, no concurrent value. What is of concurrent value is noting that President Trump has been on a quite a ride. God, I'm so proud of him. So active. I have no idea how he does it. He's definitely put some good people in his circle, and he's actually tossing a few. That's kind of cool too. I like to see that. For him, it's a good thing. No one will stay long if they disagree because it would just be silly. It would be silly. It's gonna be his way, and if you've got a good enough reason for it not to be, you better be really good at discussing why. And he'll listen once. He'll listen to you. He's done that with a few. Kennedy being one. Kennedy, he doesn't trust Kennedy as far as he can throw him on many things. And he has been willing to say that on the position that he has put Kennedy in. He has full trust in him. So if Kennedy gets outside of his lane, he'll be gone. If Kennedy stays in his lane, he can do wonderful things and we'll all be happy. I haven't seen squat out of our dear Tulsi Gabbard, but I also know that that's not a job you can jump into and just say, okay, guys, here's what we're going to be a Trump bull in the China shop approach. Won't work well there. You're going to have to go in. You're going to have to demonstrate the fact that you do hold the biggest weapon and you're holding it at their underbelly, and you will now begin the process of straightening things out. And that's going to take more than a couple days. I expect within 2 weeks we get an update from her that is fairly preliminary, but nonetheless with at least a couple of salient points that will show strong, reactive, meaningful events. You're going to see that from her side very quickly. I mean, a couple weeks. So, Hegseth is got to pull a stabilize, which I think he'll do. He's quite capable of doing that. Oh God, there's just so many good things. But now this weekend thing, he tends to always have a weekend update, a weekend surprise, a weekend report, something that that comes either in on Friday, even Thursday, but Friday for sure, Saturday-ish, and then the media can't deal with it. They all went home for the weekend, and now they gotta get up and try and figure out what's going on. They always get it wrong. By Monday morning, the whole thing's messed up, and by Monday night, Trump looks like a genius again. Because he is. What is this week's crazy little surprise? I think I do have some ideas on that one. I think he's going to take another jab at Newsom. He loves taking jabs at Newsom. And Newsom needs them. Newsom needs them. Yeah. So that's almost one of my favorites, to watch him poke at him, humiliate him a little bit. Man needs some humility. Newsom has gotten way, way off track, and it's to the scary stuff. I mean, he's like has uh, no concept of fellow man or helping, or being I don't know, a decent human being. He just it's irrelevant to him, and that's just not a good place to be when you're in service. So we'll see what happens. And then the other ones he's been lately taking jabs at, who will be taking more jabs, is Adam Shifty Schiff, Adam Pumpkinhead Vine Neck Schiff. That man, I don't really feel that's wasting my that I want to waste my time by I don't know, spending time wallowing out his blatant disregard of the true meaning of governing and serving the public. He has absolutely no idea. And his lies they're not even practiced anymore. They're just silliness and almost like he thinks he's the Geraldo Rivera of breakthrough bombshells and the governing news or something. He's just, it's sickening. It's disgusting. I mean, I wish no foul, painful harm to the man, but I wish he'd go away like real far forever. I really do. I'm hoping the Californians will finally see that they have well, I don't even know. Do they have a tendency of putting people like that in, or they haven't even realized that their votes don't count for anything yet? Because they don't count for anything because they don't count them. That's why. Or just put in whoever they. Who's they? I was looking at like, who is they? Well, God bless you. That's what I think's going to happen for the weekend. I will be back. I will be back quickly, and I'll play another piece of the old stuff for you. Some of the stuff that I enjoy the most. I'll give you a little titty stuff. So you have a blessed day, and I'm gonna call it